There it is. Okay. And we're recording. I'm going to share screen real quick. Okay. Oh, it's saying my battery's almost dead. Let's go get a charger. All right. All right. So tonight, agenda for tonight is welcome and prayer, announcements, and then inspiration from Emily. Daniel, would you grab my power cord from over there, please? It's by the kitchen table. And then question and answer if you have any questions. So to go ahead and get started, let's open up in prayer, and then we will move on. Lord, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for those that are able to listen now and those that will be listening to this recording down the road. And I just thank you for my friend Emily, who's willing to speak to us tonight and just share about her journey and her story. And I just pray that you would help us to each pick up some inspiration from that to continue moving forward ourselves. So bless this time, bless this meeting, and I lift it up to you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, so I have a few announcements. Success Club Prize this month, if you do not know, it goes with the Team Spirit competition. We're a part of the Lux Republic team. It looks like we're doing pretty good. I've been seeing that weekly email come through. It looks like things are going pretty well. But anybody who hits Success Club 5 gets a Court of Force tank or a t-shirt. So that's what we're working towards. And then Lux Republic upcoming events, it's on her calendar, but just want to remind you, we have a coaching sneak peek next week on the 22nd, 7 p.m. Live power hours will be the next 2 Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And then she has another surprise guest. This past week's was awesome. I hope the next one's really good too, but it will be on the 29th at 7. And then if you don't know, I can't do this because I'm not doing Court of Force right now, but those that are, that $1,000 per day challenge is still going on. And all you have to do is post your picture to either Twitter or Instagram, something of you doing the workout, picture of you afterwards, and hashtag Court of Force and hashtag contest. You have to have both of those. And they're drawing one person every day to win $1,000. So if you're doing that program, Cammie, who will be getting on this call, she needs to be doing that. And then if you didn't see, I didn't watch the 20s very much, but I guess the winner is Megan Davies. And it makes me want to go back and watch and kind of see what she was all about. But she's going to be the next super trainer. So for whatever program comes, she'll be the next one. And the final thing I have on here, these are kind of old, but I just wanted to remind you guys because it was a big deal to me. I'm a My Challenge Tracker app person, and they've simplified a few pieces of it. So where we had to always go in and enter emails every single time to invite people, which was really took a lot of time. Now you can actually go into past invites and just re-invite those people, which is really much easier. And there's also something I use daily now. They keep a post library of all your past groups that you've done on there with the posts. So you can just select that you'd like to copy and paste and set when you want to schedule that for it. And I love that. I use that all the time. So if you're not using those things and you're an app person, you should be using them. Simplifies it. And that is all of the announcements I have. And we are going to listen to the wonderful Emily.
Oh, stop.
Emily, I don't know. She's going to tell a lot of her story, but she's my Diamond Success partner. And we both are part of Raina's Diamond group. And once you hit Diamond, you get put in there. You're part of our teams. And we found out, it was probably a year ago now, that both of us have uplines who aren't really working the business. And are both wanting to do really well with our businesses, and just had a lot of other connections, and decided to cheer each other on. And so we've kind of been there for each other on and off this year, and very, very appreciative of her. She's very wonderfully encouraging to me. So
Likewise.
that's Emily. So you have the floor, girl.
Okay. I'm not a speaker, so bear with me here. This is my first time doing this. So I'm Emily. I guess to start off with, I'm just going to kind of tell you, I guess, my whole story from the beginning. Growing up, I was a sports fanatic. I played everything in high school, started most things as, early on as freshman and sophomore at the varsity level. And that carried through to college, where I played varsity volleyball there all 4 years. So always was very active. That's where I met my now husband, Brett. He was a basketball player. He played varsity all his 4 years of college as well. So we just met. It was a small college. I don't know if you've heard of Ottawa University. It's just south of Lawrence. So that's where we went. We dated, the last 2 years of our college time. And then he decided after that he wanted to go to chiropractic school. So there's one in Kansas City, but the one that was probably one of the two better colleges was in Dallas, Texas. And he decided to go there, of course. Couldn't make it easy on me. So he moved there, and about a month of him being gone, I decided to move down there as well. I had a friend that lived there, and so I just decided to go live with her and just, live life for a little bit. So I moved to Dallas. We lived there for 3 years while he was in school. And while chiropractic school was very intense, and he spent 7 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. every day at his school, there was also a lot of, it's like extended college where you're still partying, you're still having a lot of fun, going out with your friends a lot, and especially in Dallas, where there's so much things, stuff to do. We had a lot of fun while we were there. It was great. It was fun to be there. But as soon as he graduated, we knew we wanted to come back home. Both of our families are in Kansas. And so we came back. We originally lived just south of Ottawa in Garnett, where his grandparents live, actually. We lived there for probably 6 months or so before we found his current practice, which is in the big town of Valley Falls, Kansas. Valley Falls is like a town of 1,200 people we live here now. He is running his own chiropractic business, which is awesome. And we're probably about 35 minutes from Topeka, about 45 from Lawrence, and about an hour from Legends. So I feel like we're in a pretty nice place as far as where we live. But a lot of stresses came with him going through chiropractic school. And then we got married in 2010. And then we bought our practice shortly after that in 2011. And so we have been through quite a bit, I guess, those first few years of our lives together. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold as well, so forgive me. It was probably, it was early 2013 probably, where I had posted a picture of me doing P90X on Facebook and Instagram. I was just doing, one workout here and there, maybe 2 or 3 a week. But my coach, Lisa, reached out to me and was like, I see that you're doing P90X. Have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? Which now I'm laughing because that's what, that's one of the things that I use as well. I didn't even know coaching was a thing. I didn't even know really P90X was a Beachbody product. I just knew I had these DVDs and I should do something with myself and with the DVDs. So I popped them in every once in a while. I told her, I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And she explained it a little bit to me, and I thought it sounded great, but what she didn't know was previous to this, I had already failed at being another, like a makeup company rep. And I had just gotten done doing one of those diets, I guess a diet where you take some pills for breakfast and you drink some tea, and you have like 4 ounces of protein for a snack, and then for lunch you have a shake, and then for afternoon you have 4 ounces of protein, and then for dinner you have a shake as well. It was one of those high protein shake pill diet things, which gave me really great results, and I got really skinny. And it was like an 8-day thing. And so I did that once, and I had my brother's wedding, and I felt really cool. I felt really good. And I stopped doing it. And of course, like we all know now, my metabolism was shot. It was, it didn't like that at all. So I gained it all back. And so hence, dropping in the P90X workout, I needed to get back on it. And so when she approached me about being a coach, I was like, I failed at this twice already. I don't want to be one of those people. That sounds gross to me. And so I just was like, okay, I was nice about it. I was like, I'll think about it. And she kept just checking in with me. It probably took me about 3 or 4 months before I was finally like, okay, well, maybe this isn't such a bad idea after all. I remember talking to Brett about it, my husband, and he was like, if it's just $40 and it's going to get you into shape, do it. So I signed up. I just really wanted the discount, and I wanted a little bit of accountability. And I only bought TurboFire. I didn't even buy Shakeology for probably 3 months before or after I signed up as a coach. So I always joke with Lisa about me not buying a challenge pack ever, because she's like, yeah, I know, I remember. I just knew, like, I had done that diet before where the shakes, and so I was like, I'm not doing those shakes again. They're not for me. So after being, added to the Lex Republic group and just seeing what everybody else was doing with the business, I saw how much potential there was to it and was like, well, maybe I'll go ahead and give it a shot. So I knew that I needed to be, to be active, you have to have 50 PV. So I went ahead and ordered Shakeology. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need to drink it. I need to prove and walk the walk and talk the talk. So I went ahead and ordered it. Those shakes were way better. Shakeology is way better than any of the other shakes that I've ever had. So I was kind of mad at myself for waiting that long to get it. But I decided to go ahead and rear up my first challenge group. So I went ahead and promoted it. I didn't get anybody to join. Everybody was like, what are you doing? Okay, that's cool. And like was silent after that. And I just, it was like, no, I didn't really want to do this anyways. It was kind of what had that attitude about it. I really just wanted the discount. So I was working on TurboFire, and I started to just go ahead and start posting slowly my workouts, and eventually people started seeing the transformation. And so I had more people jump on board slowly but surely. I joined in September of 2013, and I am a slow and steady coach, and I have been from the beginning. I didn't hit Emerald until March of 2014. So it took me, 6 or 7 months or so to hit Emerald. And I just hit Diamond. Well, I hit Diamond in August 2015. So I was an Emerald for like a year and a half. It seemed like, almost a year and a half. And I guess to me the whole time I just was like, I'm just doing this for the accountability. It's fine. Along the way, I'm going to try not to cry when I say this, to talk about this part. Here we go. We had been married for 3 years, and we had been trying to have a kid for 2 of those years without any luck. So about that time, let's see, it was probably about February of 2014, we decided to go see a fertility doctor. You know, I'm an ugly crier too. This is the worst. Anyway, so we went to the doctor. We had a handful of different things that were wrong with both of us. Was not allowing us to get pregnant. So I told Lisa, we're going to do this. We're going to go see the doctor. It's going to be really expensive, but we need to do this. We need to figure out what's going on. I had enrolled in March of 2014, and that was our first of 3 rounds of IUI. No, I can't turn it off. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Anyways, I remember messaging Lisa, and I said, we had done our IUI. We went to Dallas to visit some friends. And I got paid that Thursday. And I remember messaging Lisa, and I was like, this paycheck paid for our complete first round of IUI. And I was so excited. And I was like, this just makes me want to keep going and keep going and keep going. So needless to say, the first round didn't work. The second round didn't work either. And the third round didn't work. By the end of 2014, we had pretty much just decided we're just going to let it go. Just forget about it. With the holidays, it's hard to fit that stuff in anyways. We just forgot about it. The beginning of the year came around, and we thought, okay, we'll start talking about doing this again. In June of 2015, we were pregnant. I have no idea how it happened. I mean, I know how it happened. I don't know what happened. But we got pregnant on our own, and it was amazing. It was the biggest blessing that we've ever gotten. I gotta pull it together. I'm sorry, I'm a mess all of a sudden. Anyway, so through this whole time, we went through these fertility treatments for almost a year, from March through the end of that same year. But it was something that I didn't want to post about on Facebook. And so this whole time I was like, I know that if I could share this, it would help me out. I know that people would relate. But that just wasn't something that we as a couple felt comfortable doing. So I put on this happy face the whole time. That's honestly how I got through it all, because while I couldn't share my whole story, was able to share what Beachbody was doing for me, without getting to, in detail with it. So I got pregnant in June of 2015. By August of 2015, I hit Diamond. So I was stuck, like I said, at enrolled from March 2014 to Diamond of 2015. I announced, we announced we were pregnant in July, or it was actually right before August, but when I hit Diamond, that we announced that we were pregnant. But at that point, I was able to finally share our story, and I found some people that I could relate to. And it really, I think that's kind of when my business actually took off. So I would encourage you, if you can, and it was just too personal for us. We just didn't want to share it. If you can, and you have those hard struggles, share them, because now that I can, and I do, it's changed my business completely. Let's see, where am I at? I'm totally lost my little track of thought here. During my whole pregnancy, I continued to work out. I continued to drink Shakeology. I continued to eat healthy, and I continued to share what those things were doing for me. I made it my mission during my pregnancy to not have a whole bunch of baggage to deal with after pregnancy as far as weight gain goes. I knew I just didn't want to deal with a whole bunch of weight afterwards. And I could, I knew that I would feel better if I kept it under control. And I did, again, the normal amount of weight that they recommend. And I'm thankful that I did, so I don't have so much to take off now. But during that whole time where we were in our roughest position and going through all of those struggles, I knew that I needed to stay healthy. I knew that it was good for me. It was good for my husband, for us to be doing that together. And I really just focused on my journey and completing programs and sharing my transformation. I'm a big believer, and I know Raina's kind of on that kick right now too, that if you're not sharing your transformation and your journey, you're not really, doing the full programs. You're not really coaching, I guess. But that was, and it still has been my biggest key to gaining coaches, is completing a program 100% through sharing transformation and sharing the journey along the way. I made new friends through the Lux team that were also going through infertility. They kind of helped me through it all. I developed my team to kind of keep my mind occupied. I think that that was kind of like an outlet of mine, along with working out. Exercise was my therapy. I was like, I cannot do any more today. I'm going downstairs. I'm working out. We'll think about this later. It still is my therapy. Every day I have to get it in. Otherwise, I just, you just don't feel good. And that doesn't help anything. One of the key things that I think was good to keeping my business going as well, not only my team growing, but also, is to run a challenge group every month. I set it up every month. Even if nobody joined, I set it up and I promoted it like we were going to have 10 people joining. I think that you have to kind of keep consistent with that. If you stop running challenge groups, if you stop doing what your customers see you doing, then they know that you're either struggling with your business, or you aren't really invested in it anymore, and that doesn't help gain anybody any credibility. I think if they're following you and they see you running these groups and they see good results coming out of those groups, then they're more likely to want to jump on board with you. And that challenge groups is the number one place and the number one way for me that I've gained coaches. I think I could probably name a handful of my coaches that didn't go through a challenge group with me, that just joined for other reasons. But I would say 90% of my coaches come from challenge groups. I signed 4 coaches the last month, and 2 of them I had talked to a year ago about coaching, and they just now decided they wanted to do it. So, that shows that I was running those challenge groups, and I had talked to the people that were good performers in the challenge groups, the ones that were posting every day, the ones that had really great results. I had talked to them about coaching. They weren't ready, which was fine. But I had already planted the seed, and when they were ready, they came back. They started another challenge group with me, and then they decided to go ahead and jump into coaching. One of them's just a discount coach. That's fine. The other one is actually starting her first challenge group now, which is so fun to see. I love when they start to get excited about the business. But those little things like that just really kind of kept me going. They kept me occupied. They kept me focused on something other than the problem. Another thing that was really important every single day was personal development. We harp that all the time, and I know it gets old, but it's so true. That I'm not really a reader, so I would download Audible on my phone, and I listened to You Are a Badass. I just finished Energy Bus, which is kind of a silly story, but it's really easy to read, and that's good for me. That is something I'm physically reading, not an audiobook, because now I don't commute anymore. And I guess I forgot to say, along this whole time, I am also a full-time employee. I work 35 minutes away from where I live, so I have a commute every day. I don't now because I got a new job, and it allows me to work from home, which is amazing. But I'm still working 40 hours a week. So I got really good at getting up just a little bit earlier. I didn't even have to like physically get up. I would just grab my phone from my nightstand, pull it in, read through messages or respond to messages or post in my challenge group or, anything that needed to be done first thing in the morning, I would just get it done. I would post on my page before I left the house, so I wasn't driving and posting. And I knew once I got to work, I needed to be at work. So I got really good at kind of timing what needed to be done. I would post, first thing in the morning. I would post at our 10 o'clock break. I would post something at lunch. I wouldn't always do our 10 o'clock break and our 3 o'clock break. I wouldn't do both because that's 4 posts already for a day. Sometimes it was just morning, lunch, and then when I got off work and then evening. But I got kind of strategic about what I was posting and when, so that the consistency was always there. I used my lunchtime as the time where I could follow up on messages. I just got really good at that, I guess. Now that I work from home, it takes a little bit more discipline to stay on target and on track with my work because I'm so easily distracted by my phone with nobody here watching me what I'm doing. Luckily, I have a great rapport with my coworkers, and I work in IT, so we're on our computers anyways. They don't expect me to be talking to customers or anything like that. So I really have it pretty easy, and I'm so thankful for this job because it came at the exact moment that I needed it. Let's see, I got off track there. Hit Diamond in August of 2015. I gave birth and hit Success Club All-Star in February of 2016. And I'm just a couple months away from being a Success Club legend. So hopefully in February, if the rest of this year goes well. And then we all know that the beginning of the year is good for us. So I just got to make it through this end of the year and we'll be good. I had one of our coaches recently go, "You hit Success Club every month, don't you?" She messaged me that and I said, "I do." She goes, "What's your secret?" And I said, "I don't really have any secrets." I do think that a lot of people, sometimes I have people that I talked to last month that I was disappointed that they didn't order because I would have had the Success Club points then, that finally ordered this month. Or, somebody that I talked to a long time ago that just couldn't afford it then, she finally came in and said she's ready and she wants to order. So it takes a lot of those planted seeds that we work on so much to really kind of keep our business going. I think that, like I said, running a challenge group every month, whether I have 2 participants or whether I have 10, people see other people doing that and you get others interested. Their friends are interested in what they're doing. They send them your way. I had somebody just the other day say, so I'm ready to lose this extra weight. And I was just doing some research. It led me to Beachbody. And aren't you a coach for that? I said, I am. So she ordered. She got 21-day fix. So you just have to keep being persistent. That's all I can. That's my number one tip for you guys. Is just keep going. Even if you don't want to, even in the times that you feel like you are just pulling this out of left field, I'm just going to slap this on Facebook and hope nobody calls my bluff on it. Sometimes you have to do that. I don't like the saying fake it till you make it because I don't like to be fake, but you really have to play the part that you want your business to be. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to be serious about what you're doing. You have to be serious about your results. You have to be intentional with who you're focusing on, who you are, what am I trying to say? Your target market, I guess. You need to kind of learn about who that is and really be intentional with what you're doing. Instead of faking it till you make it, I just say, you just make it. You don't have to fake it, just make it. In my worst days, I would just say, it has been a day. I am going to make me some dinner and sign off, and just let it go. You don't have to tell everybody. You don't have to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. and you can just be yourself. I am a goofball. I'm silly, and I like to put that out to my Facebook people, and I have people send me messages that are like, you are just so funny, and I'm like, I don't think I'm hilarious, but I try to just bring something happy to somebody every day. And if that's me being a goofball, then that's what I have to do. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I lost my track of thought here. I think what I'm trying to say is, even on your worst days when you don't feel like being sunshine and rainbows, you don't have to be, and that's fine. But what you do need to be is encouraging, and you have to be real with your audience, and you have to be you have to be a person that somebody can relate to and would go to in times where they're ready to make some life changes. What we do is changing lives, and it's not taken lightly. For somebody to lose 20 pounds is a huge accomplishment, and it changes their life in so many ways. So you have to be somebody that they can trust to come to when they're ready to make that decision and to go. And whether that's a goofball or whether that's somebody that's super serious, whatever that may be, just be you. You just make it. Do what you need to do. We have, I have 2 coaches who are literally one coach away from being Emerald, which would make them Diamond. So I'm so close to being 1-star, hopefully 2-star Diamond soon. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a slow and steady coach, and I have no shame in it. I have a husband, and now I have a 9-month-old baby. I have a full-time job. I have life. I have family. All those things have, I could say, gotten in my way of my business. But really, they've just added to my business. They've added to who I am as a coach, and they've added to my life and what I do with my business. So I feel like I've just completely rambled and derailed. I hope that wasn't awful.
Oh, that was great.
I don't even know what I was talking about when I was losing it there in the crying part, but I hope that all completely made sense.
Yes, it's so good to hear all of your story. Mm-hmm. I think that, that's the same thing I did with your team. I think it's just good for us to hear each other's paths to where we are now.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not easy all the time is really helpful. So.
Yes, absolutely. It's never been easy all along, especially when I just started and I didn't even really intend to do anything with it. But once I saw the potential, I was like, I know I have to do this. Mm-hmm. So
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I did too. So I really do believe too that being healthy was when I finally really dug into just doing a program and sticking to it, I think is when we finally got pregnant. It was like when I finally dug into just becoming really healthy, both of us, it just happened. I'm one of those people that I hated when I was trying to get pregnant. I was like, just stop thinking about it. It'll happen. Just relax. I'm like, stop. Like, that's much easier said than done. But once we stopped thinking about it and relaxed a little bit, it finally happened. So I'm one of those statistics.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
It's been a road, but it's been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions for her, Melissa?
I don't even know what to ask at this point.
How long have you been a coach, Melissa?
Since March.
Okay. Very good.
And I've been kind of stuck there. And then we've had a lot of crazy stuff with foster. We had foster kids, and then we lost those at 11 months, and then got new foster kids, and it wasn't working, and disrupted on those kiddos, and which was really hard to deal with. And my kids needed me to take care of them. And so now it's been a few weeks since they've been in our home, and 2 of my kids are coming home to homeschool full time. And so it's just been the business part has definitely taken a slide to the left.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the other. I post every day. So and I work out every day. There's no way that's not happening ever again in my lifetime ever. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So and I've had a few injuries since Summit. My knees have been hurting and my shoulder still. So a little frustrated.
You have a lot going on, but good for you to keep posting. Definitely good for that.
I try to make sure I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day just to keep that whatever. It feels like right now with all this political whatever that is, like nothing gets
seen.
If it's not hating on one side or the other, then it's not existent. So and I've noticed like I don't have anybody besides other coaches that like my stuff. So
are you adding people all the time?
No,
you should be.
Well, I was adding like 15 or 20 people a day, but I could never get conversations started.
Yeah.
So it'll get there.
You'd be surprised how many of them are actually watching. At some point, some of them are going to come out and be like, okay, what are you doing? I've been watching you this whole time. I promise you that'll happen at some point.
So I finally feel like just even this last week that I can breathe just a little bit. And then, of course, my son was like, I want to come home. And I'm like, wait a minute. So he'll come home at Tuesday is his last day in public school. He'll come home and we'll start doing him after Thanksgiving. So, and he's open to that. And so hopefully it will go well and he will.
Yeah.
He's failing out of public school right now for the last year. So we'll see. So, but I hope hopefully we'll get into a routine really quickly and I can be able to start doing some more inviting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's scary to jump back in because you just feel, like I couldn't get anybody to do anything. So, but God's timing is perfect. And I love Beachbody. I love what we stand for. I love this company. I love the support I've gotten. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just moving a little bit slow.
That's okay. That's okay.
I like the big thing that I was just sharing towards the end of her call that I did was no matter how slow you're going or how much you have to back off at certain times, just never stop.
Oh, yeah.
And you, like I told you this week, Melissa, like you are an incredible rock star with your own personal journey, and that shines so brightly to everybody, whether they're liking your posts or not. People are seeing that.
Yeah, they're seeing it.
I'm trying to, I get a lot of, it's funny, I have a lot of, men my dad's age or my uncles or whatever, they're all like, no! I'm like, yay, Uncle Tom. Which is good. I mean, it's coming along. I have lots of support from people, and I do know there's some people that are watching, and I also know God's timing is perfect, and it will take off when it's supposed to, and He's covering needs that I wanted Beachbody to cover, and He's covering it differently, and that's okay, But I know, for my personal journey, for my health, I'll never. There's nothing that could tear me away from Beachbody because it's perfect. And I like people that are like, you can't work out at home. I'm like, are you crazy? I could never get to the gym. So
yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be there. I mean, and I'm committed to not quitting. I'm not quitting. So, and I think that's the books that you read on personal development and all those things. They're just saying half the journey is being there the next year, and then the next year. Might be slower than the person that did it in 3 months, but that's okay with that.
Yep, there's definitely a lot of coaches that have sailed higher faster than I have, but their journey and their life is much different than mine. So this is exactly where I need to be right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations on your baby, and that's worth crying for.
Thank you. I'm such an ugly crier. I hate it. And I just can't stop once I
Who
start.
cries pretty? Seriously.
Nobody.
That's true, but I am the worst. It's bad.
Yeah. It shows your heart and where it was and how hard it was to walk through, and it's going to be hard to share that story 20 years from now. I mean, babies are a blessing no matter where they come, how they come, when they come. It's a hard journey, and like, especially when you've gone through infertility, it's heartbreaking for every month. Just feels like a slap in your face, and be able to walk on the other side and to see that it was God that did it. It wasn't man that did it. It wasn't anybody else, but it was God's blessing that touched your life, and that's huge.
Yep.
Aww.
Now we're all crying.
Well, thank you so much, Emily.
You're welcome.
And I know that several people will probably watch the recording later, so I will post it in my page, and more people.
Tell them I'm sorry for the ugly crying.
Don't be sorry for ugly crying.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, ladies, have a good evening, and
You too.
I'll talk with both of you guys soon. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Hey, it was nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you too.
Bye.